The following is a production of Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution.
My name's Mark Baumgartner. I'm a marine ecologist in the biology department of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, and I study whales. I developed software to detect marine mammal sounds in passive acoustic recordings, and that was the early genesis of this project, to do detection and classification of baleen whales, but to do it in real time. And that's what this system does. It does it in real time. The acoustic instrument that we use was built at WHOI. It's the Digital Acoustic Monitoring Instrument, or the DMON. It's an oceanographic instrument that has hydrophones that's attached to essentially a small computer, just like you have in your smartphone. You have a computer inside there. It's a computer inside the DMON. And that is going to be housed in a frame that sits at the bottom of the ocean. It is listening for whale sounds, and when it hears sounds, it transmits information about those sounds to the buoy. And it does so, the DMON's at the bottom, and it transmits that information through what's called a stretch hose all the way up to the buoy. So we've integrated the DMON into a number of different platforms, the buoy, the Slocum glider, and the wave glider. Each of those platforms is good for a different job. The buoy is good for if your research question or your conservation problem is in a confined area. If your research question or your conservation problem happens over a large area, then just making observations in one place is not sufficient. You want something that moves around, and that's what the Slocum glider and the wave glider do. They're mobile, autonomous platforms. The Slocum glider operates by moving up and down in the water column. So it's measuring properties of the water from the surface all the way down to the bottom. So the wave glider harnesses the power of waves and the sun to move around and power its electronics. We use the technology for three main purposes. The first is for science. If I was going to go out to sea to look for animals, to study them, it often takes a long time to find them on our own, just looking with our eyes. So we can send a glider out to do surveys for us in advance of our cruises. And that way, when I go to sea, I know exactly where the animals are. The next is conservation. The technology tells us where animals are in real time, and that provides an opportunity for us to do something about it. We can give that information to the shipping industry or the fishing industry to suggest to them, maybe you don't want to go through this area, as fast with your boats as you might like to, because there are endangered species there. There are endangered whales there. The last aspect that we use this technology for is really outreach to the public, to really help the public understand what's in their backyard here in the ocean. And if people are going to feel a sense of ownership of the ocean and what happens in it, they have to know what's going on out there.
To learn more about Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, visit us on the web at www.whoi.edu.